Peace to the galaxy. It's your boy Supreme, and this is Invader Talk,
Yes,
a
sir.
podcast for millennials and Gen Zs to bridge the gap between tribes by learning through one another. So today, I'm here with my guy,
Yes, sir.
Kenny the Hippie. What's up, bro?
What's up, bro? How you feeling?
I'm good, man. Appreciate you for joining me today. I think this is gonna be a dope talk. It's what the universe need right now. So let's just go ahead and jump into it, bro.
Let's get
You know
into
what I'm saying? Just for if anybody who's not tapped into Kenny the Hippie already, Kenny the Hippie is a young, you know what I'm saying? I wouldn't call him I would say he's a creative, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to niche him down.
Yeah.
Can you give us a quick bio, you know what I'm saying, of who Kenny the Hippie is, man?
Kenny the Hippie. I don't know. I'm just me, you know. Like I'm a multi-talented individual. I can do multiple things. Like I used to draw shit like that. Like I was always like that as a younger person. I always like dove into a whole bunch of different shit. Like I make music. I make videos on TikTok. I can make YouTube videos. You know, I make jewelry.
Fact told him, a jack of all trades. Would you consider yourself that?
Yeah, I feel like I can pick up anything. Like if you show me how to do something, I learn real fast. So at any point in time, I could get into whatever I want to get into.
Okay. Yeah, I believe that's like what we got to do as people is start to realize that our superpowers and that we can do more than one thing, or we could, you know what I'm saying? We could learn this and don't have to be the best at it. We could just be good at it so it can be fun when we doing it, you know, have hobbies. And let's talk about individuality, because just looking at you, bro, you seem like you don't really give a fuck about what's going on, and you just tapped into whatever. You got the crystals on,
Yes,
you know what
sir.
I'm saying? The high vibrations, we're going to get into that. But tell me what being an individual means to you.
For real, like right now, at this point in my life, is very important for me. Cause like I've always been like, I've known I've always been different. You know, I've always been an individual, but I never really like capitalized on my individuality. Cause a lot of the times when I was younger, I was like, I'm gonna say I was like scared to be myself, really. And then I got to a point where it's like, why do I care about what anybody else thinks? Because like at the end of the day, like I know I'm a dope ass person. Like if you gonna fuck with me, you gonna fuck with me. If you not, then okay.
That's a fact. You gotta hit that fucking button, and you know what I'm saying, start saying like, forget what everybody's thinking, and that's when you really unlock your true superpower, when you become who you are. You know what I'm saying? When you reach your max potential of, you know what I'm saying, your being. Now let's talk about these crystals real quick, man. You got a song, you know what I'm saying, it kind of blew up on TikTok. Not kind of, it did blow up on TikTok. High vibrational. Can you tell me how the song came about, and then we'll talk about crystals after that?
So it's really crazy, bro. Cause like the shit that happened, I wasn't expecting it at all. So like I had the opening bar. I hope I die with my motherfucking crystals. I had that shit in my head for like a couple weeks, but I was like, I never like really like put any energy behind it. And then I was at work. And then I don't know, I was just feeling some type of way. I was like, all right, I'm gonna transmute this energy. I'm gonna just make a song about crystals. And then I started thinking about X. I was like, I gotta be on some X type time. So I looked up X type beats, and I went through a couple beats, like 5 or 6, and I found a beat that I made the song with. I'm like, yeah, this is it. So I just started writing that drum, and then I got home and I made a TikTok on it, and I didn't even finish the song. I just made 60 seconds worth of bars for the TikTok, and then it started blowing up like crazy. Like right now, I got like 1 million views
on one TikTok.
Yeah,
on
like
one TikTok, you got 1 million views.
Yeah, that's the first TikTok I got like 1 million views on too. But yeah, I peeped it start blowing up. It was like 2:00 in the morning when I finished writing it and recording it, and then I put it on SoundCloud after I posted the TikTok and all that. And then the original audio, like the demo version of it, the rough draft of it that I made on SoundCloud. I mean, not SoundCloud, on GarageBand.
Yeah.
It has like 18K listens on there.
Okay.
So yeah, I was just like, yo, I gotta record this. I got
tap in. If you're not already tapped in, tap into my boy Kenny the Hippie. High vibrational. Where can they get it at, bro?
Everywhere. We on Spotify. We on Apple Music. We on SoundCloud. We on iHeartRadio. Everywhere. YouTube. All that.
So in the song, you said that opening bar, I hope I die with my motherfucking crystals. How did you get into crystals?
Really, I got into crystals when spirituality found me. Okay. Like I started doing research. I started watching like spiritual creators and things of that nature, and they talked about crystals and like healing powers and, you know, getting closer to different vibrations. So I was like, cool, bet I'm gonna go get some crystals. So I looked up crystal shops. I drove all the way to Atlanta That's an hour away.
Okay.
Because I looked up the Crystal Shop, you know, Crystal Blue. You say you never been there before, but I looked up the Crystal Shop, and it was all good vibes. So I'm like, all right, cool. I go to the Crystal Shop. I walk in there, and I was just overwhelmed with a whole bunch of energy. And like this was, like I told you this before, but this was before like I was even like aware of what energy really was.
You just knew something just felt a little different when you walked up in there.
I felt like I was just getting pressured at all angles. My heart start racing and all that. I'm like, this is different. Like it's something in it. And I'm the type of person like I can, like if I feel, if it made me feel something. Yeah. So like I can stand behind it. I can believe in it. You know.
It's your truth. I understand that. I feel like we give power to the things that we believe in. That's what people don't actually. If you believe what everybody's telling you, that's what's going to be your reality.
Right.
If you believe whatever you believe is your reality, and that's a fact. Now let's talk about you saying you felt it, but you didn't understand it at first. But now you're kind of on this spiritual journey. You're saying it found you. Can we talk about like how you kind of got on this spiritual journey to begin with? You don't gotta tell us everything, but whatever you want to share.
So like. What led up to my spiritual journey was just like a lot of unfortunate ass events. Okay. So I probably say, well, really, I feel like it was my whole life, period. But like it was a lot of like stuff crammed into like a period of like a year and a half. I went to college. Like my reasons behind going to college was not to be in school. Yeah. Like I was trying to be away from my family. I was just trying to like be on my own, be independent. I thought college was going to be like different than high school. I just thought it was going to be like a new start for me. And then I went to college and it was kind of like the same shit I was going through in high school. Yeah. Still not liking it and all that stuff. So it was just like, it was kind of a bad experience. I got, loved up in college. Oh man. She cheated on me. Damn. And that experience that happened was the first time that I was like done wrong to that extent. Okay. So it really like damaged me a lot. And then like I had started, this isn't in order, but it's just, things that led up to it. I had started like trading in the stock market, and then I wasn't really an experienced, knowledgeable trader. So I was kind of just like, fuck it, I'm trying to get rich. I'm throwing money out there. And it hurt. Yeah, and I lost a whole bunch of money, bro. And then like one day, something had happened. I forgot what it was, but I was mad as hell. And I was like, fuck it, I'm going to the gym. I ain't been outside all day. So it was raining all day, but I had no idea. And it was like 3 o'clock in the morning. So it was dark as hell. So I'm driving. I usually drive like kind of fast. Yeah. So like I'm driving, I'm going like 90 miles per hour, and it's dark as hell. Out here is like all like kind of like highway-ish. Yeah. So I'm driving like 90, and then it's just straight, and then all of a sudden it's a curve, but I didn't see it because it's dark. I'm like, oh shit. Start trying to turn. I start hydroplaning. Bang, 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 bang. Damn. Yeah. So you got into a car wreck, and then that gave you like, did you get? I mean. I'm glad you're here with us now. I mean, you made it out there. It don't seem like it took you down too long. Not at all. Like I wasn't even hurt at all, and it's crazy because like I could have went over a bridge. Damn. Like I could have been in water, like just drowning. Like I wouldn't have got out the car, but it was a lot because like that was a car that I bought. Like that was like my first car. I bought it with my money, and then I totaled it. Yeah, it's gone. Just as fast as you got it, it's gone. And then I was just like I said, I was already angry. So I was trying to let off steam at the gym, and I was just mad. Like I was crashing mid-crash. I was just screaming. I'm like, fuck. And then like I feel like I just let out a lot of energy, and like I feel like my soul just got tired of like suffering. And like I feel like that was like my rock bottom point. Okay. So like I had no choice but to just elevate. So that kind of led me toward my my spiritual journey and my spiritual path. Okay, so you were at the darkest point in your life, we could say, and instead of folding, you like, you know what, I'm already at the bottom. I can't go down no lower, so I got to do something else. Yeah. And then that's when you became, what I'm saying, spirituality found you. Yeah. Can we talk about like what was the signal or your call to action as the hero in your story? Like what was the signal that like, yo, it's time to tap in? I don't even know. I feel like Spiritual Soul was one of the first people I started watching. And it's funny because like my homeboy was watching Spiritual Soul. He wasn't necessarily spiritual or woke, at that time, but he was understanding the information that he was giving out.
Yeah.
And I remember like a couple years ago watching him, and I'm like, I'm listening to it. I'm like, bro, this don't make no sense at all. Like, it sounded like another language.
Yeah.
And then I think it had popped up on like my on just like my YouTube, and I was just like, fuck it, let's watch it, and it made sense. So I started watching more. Everything started it made sense. So like, if something makes sense to me, I'm gonna tap into it. I'm gonna tune into it.
Okay.
So that's kind of where it started.
Okay. Yeah. So I see. Me and you both agree that your spiritual journey finds you. You don't find it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and I feel like that's a huge misconception when it comes to a lot of people when they see you with crystals or they see you meditate and they see that you kind of found out more who you are, and
Mm-hmm.
they seem to not know as much of who they are. So they want to know how they can figure out. I would say that it finds you through, like you're saying, it's a call to action. Like, you could have, when you reached that moment in your life, there was a fork in the road that was created.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You could have went down this pathway that, you know, it could have been stayed into a depressed mind state, and you know, just kept spiraling even more than you thought you was already down. But you flipped that, you transmuted that energy into something positive. And I think that's kind of why you found spiritual self. I think that when you decide what you want, the universe comes to you. So, you know, I know you hear that saying all the time, when the student is ready, the teacher appears. Spiritual Zoe actually just became conscious like over the past few years, because I don't know if you tapped into Illuminati.
Yeah, I used to talk to him a little bit.
He was just like a gamer, just saying some bot shit and just doing whatever. But to me, that's a prime example of we're not static as people. And I want to talk about that with you. Like, how important it is growing and finding new parts of yourself to you.
It's very important. That's like all right. So when I first started like my spiritual path, you know how it be. You know, like research. You know, you just trying to find out everything, because you like, bro, everything's a lie.
Exactly.
Like my whole life I've been living a lie.
The
like,
Matrix is a documentary,
right? And then so that's what I started tapping into at first, but then it got to a point where I'm like, okay, just let me step back. And I just started taking care of myself. And that's like the main thing that I really like talk about on my TikTok is like self-care, you know, self-growth, things of that nature. So to be honest, it's very important to me, because that's what I preach. That's where I started. That's what I'm trying to master. I'm trying to focus on myself, because I know I have a lot of things that I want to heal from. Like, it got to a point in my life where like shit would be like, I would be upset or I would be mad and I wouldn't even know what was wrong.
Yeah.
So like looking back at that now, that's just like suppressed trauma, suppressed emotions that like have no other option but to just express themselves. And I have no idea what that's even about. So I'm just trying to heal from that now. You know, I'm trying to figure out, you know, the deepest aspects of myself, trying to figure out where different emotions, different things come from. So of course, you know, you're not the most successful people are successful because they share their information and their knowledge with other people. So I'm not going to be able to be successful if I learn about, you know, self-care, taking care of myself, and not help other people do that as well. And at the same time, if I help other people do that, it's going to help me.
Exactly.
So, you know, it's you get back what you give, you know.
You get your power from boosting up other people, but also like taking care of yourself. You can't take care of yourself. You can't take care of other people if you're not taken care of.
Facts.
Jordan Belfort, which is the guy who the movie Wolf of Wall Street is based off of, he has this one analogy where he's talking about like, if you're on a plane and oxygen mask come down, they tell you to put your mask on before you put your kid's mask on, because if you die, then nobody's gonna be there to put your kid's mask on. So
Right.
It's important that self-love is important. And for me, it's like I had to find little rituals to do like every day to like purposely get in my bag. For you, do you have any like day-to-day rituals that keep you grounded?
So what I try to do, a routine that I try to maintain is like, as soon as I wake up, I don't touch my phone. I just go straight outside.
Okay.
So I just ground off the rip and just like get in nature. Cause like when you first wake up, you got to think about it like a computer. If you first start up, say you got, let's just say it's an old ass computer.
Yeah.
And as soon as you start it up, you open up like 20 apps. it's going to crash. Right,
not
it's going to crash.
Yeah,
it's going to be weird as fuck. So when you first wake up, your brain is just like trying to comprehend waking up and is rebooting itself. So the first thing that you see in the morning, the first thing that you interact with, the first things that you absorb is going to run you for the rest of the day. So if I wake up and I just straight up go outside and just even if it's for like 10, 15 minutes, that's the first thing I saw when I woke up. So immediately, if something happens throughout my day, I can resort back to, okay, this is how I started my day. You know, I was in nature. I was just calm. Yeah. I was grounding. You know, I went out to go like treat my plants or some shit like that. Another thing, like just working out. Like I'll do like 100 push-ups a day.
Yeah.
Just you know,
mind, body, spirit.
And it helps, especially with like a lot of practices that like some people do with spirituality. It takes a lot of like discipline. So Definitely. doing things like that, it helps with that, because like sometimes it's easy to get distracted. It's easy to go out and do so. It's easy to take the easy route, you know. So it helps with things like that.
That self-love, it does take discipline, but I think finding out and being who you truly are is discipline, because like you said, it's easy to get distracted by what's going on the TV, what other people are thinking, what they're thinking about you, what they're thinking about how you should live your life. So for me, I developed my like a daily routine that keeps me grounded as well. I do like that analogy about the computer when you first turn it on, because I've been trying to get better at, you know, not even just posting my first workout, because it still might be too early and I don't want to absorb anybody's information. I think that's something that we're not really addressing on the internet is the internet is vibes and frequencies in each post.
Facts.
Or maybe I'm just a super empath. Am I the only one? That, you know what I'm saying?
It's
you can feel energies on the internet, right?
Even if you're not like an empath, like that's literally what social media is. Like I recently just unfollowed like 300 people.
Get them out of here.
It was a couple people that got mad at me too, but I'm just like, yo, I only want to see certain shit on my timeline. Like right now I only have like artists and creatives on my timeline. So like when I see my timeline now, I see music, I see like tattoos, I see like camera shit. Yeah. And that's just that shit's inspiring to me, because it's making me like, all right, everybody out there creating, let me go create. But like if you follow a whole bunch of like celebrities and stuff like that, and a whole bunch of just a whole bunch of people, you're absorbing all that information, you're comparing yourself to other people. And like I said, like say you get on social media, first thing you wake up in the morning and you just scrolling through your timeline, that's going to be the first thing that you absorb. So subconsciously, even if you're not aware of it, that's going to be on your mind all day.
And you don't have a choice. If you follow somebody, you don't have a choice what they post. So they just giving you whatever they want you to download at the moment.
Right.
So like we got to talk about diet, because to me, I think that a lot of people look at their diet only as the food that you eat, but it's also the content you consume. And that's what we're talking about right there, that your mental diet, you know what I'm saying? And the things that you absorb subconsciously become your mental explore page. Now let's talk about how your physical diet, you know what I'm saying? I'm vegetarian, been vegetarian a little over a year now, and you as well. And I want to just talk about, like, do you feel any different? For me, I would say it was an instant difference to like how I felt during the day.
Yeah, 100% though, 100%. Because like I've even like tried to like, because when I first started my like vegetarian/vegan diet, I dove back into meat like for a day or something like that. Yeah. And I could, just because I wasn't sure if I wanted to like completely quit. Because, you know, if you go too long, you'll eat meat and your stomach will be fucked up. Yeah. And if you want to really like get back into eating meat, you're going to have to like keep slowly doing it. Yeah. Progression. So like I would notice that when I ate stuff like that, then it would just fuck me up. And it's the same way with like other foods, because a lot of foods can be low vibrational, and some people just think that just means things that's not like plants and vegetables and fruit and stuff like that. But when you eat like a whole bunch of like chips and stuff like that, it makes you feel a certain type of way. Like I remember I was eating like, I was kind of like in my bag, so I was eating a whole bunch of like snacks and chips and stuff like that, and I noticed like I was quicker to get angry. You know, I was quicker to be upset about something. I was quick to like argue with somebody or something of that nature. So you got to think about that. That's how it affects you, because you're not at your highest state. You're not at your most, you know, conscious state, because you're being ran by a whole bunch of things that's not even supposed to be in your body in the first place.
Yeah, a bunch of chemicals, and we don't even know what's in the food. That's why I say that The Matrix was a documentary, because in The Matrix, they have that little machine that let out the slop.
Right.
What's the difference between Burger King and McDonald's and whatever else is in the food? It may taste good, or we're saying it's convenient because it's there, and we might be in a hurry because of the system set up where everybody's got to be somewhere because we got to make money, yada, yada. I think it just takes more discipline. Like you're saying, to find yourself, to really... Self-love is discipline. You feel me? Because you have to go the extra mile for yourself to be able to like be your best self. Now, I want to talk about mushrooms real quick. Okay. Because I just want to go there, bro. I just want to go there with you. I don't feel like we had this conversation, bro. Nah. So
I was actually thinking about this. I knew you were gonna ask it. Yeah. I was actually thinking about this today. But go ahead.
So with shrooms, I tried shrooms a few times. I had a few experiences and a few epiphanies. I want to know what your epiphanies were when it comes to psychedelics.
All right. So the first time I had shrooms, I wasn't conscious.
Okay.
It was like right before, kind of.
Was it scary?
It wasn't necessarily scary. All right. So the first time I'm with my homies, you know, my man's had an eighth, and then I was with two of my homies. One of them had an eighth, and then me and my homie like split an eighth.
Okay.
Because we was broke.
Yeah.
So we just split it, right? So the first time I was like kind of like not scared, but I was like, I don't know how much I should take. So I just only took like the half of the eighth. And I wasn't as like high, quote unquote high, that I thought I was going to be.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, cool. Let's take some more.
Oh, you did? You was one of those?
Yeah. So like 2 days later, me and my homie both split an eighth, but I had a bad experience on it. It wasn't necessarily bad. Like, it was kind of cool at first, but then it ended up being like kind of like bad. Like, my homie started tripping out a little bit, and I'm like, bro, calm down. And then like my heart started racing all crazy. I'm like, bro, I'm about to die.
That shit always fuck me up when I'm fucked up and somebody else start tripping.
Yeah. I was trying to calm him down because I'm like, bro, you fucking me up right now. I'm trying to be zen right now. Yeah. But that was before, and then I started using them like with intention, like with the purpose. So I would say, when was that? I think I took like 5 grams.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
That's the most I ever did too.
The most I did was 7.
Ooh, okay. Body.
My next trip I want to do 10.
I might go there with you.
Yeah.
So tell me what happened when you took 5 though.
So when I took 5, it was like, all right, so I knew that I was like psychologically ready to be in that trip. So it was just like crazy, because I was off it. Like, I remember when I peaked, I was just like getting, you just think way differently. And then it's even crazier because like the next day you'll wake up and like you all right, so you experience the psychedelic trip, and then you'll have whatever you realize on the trip in that higher state of consciousness. But when you like wake up the next day, you'll realize that you experienced it. So
Once
still
you change, you can't change
like
back.
It changes your whole concept on things. So when I had my 7-gram trip, I remember I was experiencing like mad deja vu. I was like, yo, this is the same trip as the last time I tripped. Like, the day was just crazy. I swear I lived the same day over and over again. Like, I called my homie. He was talking to me. I'm like, bro, stop talking. I already know what you about to say. Like, it was crazy. But, like, I remember I was looking in the mirror, because, like, I'm one of the people who, like, you know, they be like, don't look in the mirror while you on shrooms. I'm like, nah, I'm going to look in the mirror. I'm going to look myself dead in the eyes. So, it was just like, bro, I had just came to the realization. I'm like, I already like thought of the world as a matrix, but like that's the thought that was just on my mind.
So the matrix is shattered. You was like, yo, everything. Not
I was
real,
like,
for real.
right. I was like, everything is fucking fake. Like, this is just like, this is the game. Like, for real. So it was just, you know, it was intense. It was crazy.
And I feel like that was a good explanation. You just realized that the matrix and everything was fake. You realized that, okay, we really do live in the matrix, because I feel like when you get to like that peak of that trip, you can't explain it. I remember on one of my trips, like, it was like the first time I ever did like an eighth. I was like sitting there drawing, like, yo, all right, look, I'm about to tell you what's happened. Like, but I couldn't write it down. It was just like my processing speed had moved up, and I was getting like, I was thinking about as many things as I would think about in like one day in like 5 minutes.
Right.
And it was just like, yo, I gotta like it, but it was like before you can even really think about it, another like download was coming in. And what that made me realize is just that the food that we eat affects us.
Right.
That's a prime example. Like when you take the shrooms, which grow outside, and then it changes what you can perceive.
Right.
Because even light bounces off of stuff differently off the shrooms. Like the grass looks greener.
Right.
Certain things.
Yeah.
You're like, yo. It makes sense why it's illegal. You know what I'm saying? Because they don't want us to really like fully tap in, and they'd rather have us like getting a freaking sweetie meal.
Right.
Getting
It's crazy because like it was a meme that started a couple years ago, like before I was like conscious or whatever. It was like what if drugs are illegal because the reality that we see now is what they want us to see, and the reality that we see when we're like high is the real world. And they don't want us to know that, so they're illegal. And I'm like, bro, that's like facts. That's 100% facts. So it's just like crazy to like really, and it's crazy because like people see shit like that. Like people will be like wilded out, and they'll see shit like that and they'll just laugh it off. And like they put a whole bunch of like hidden stuff in like movies and TV shows and anime, and they put it right in front of our face so that it's just like a joke, and we don't.
The secret is they're asking us to accept or decline when they show us these things, and we pay to go see a movie, and they're putting subliminals in it, and they're impressing thoughts on our subconscious mind that make us have certain type of behaviors. It's all psychology, and they didn't have this figured out to a T. That's why I'm saying the Matrix is really intelligent, and I think that when you take the shrooms and you really, I think that's like the first, really like the threshold of like. I don't know. I got a joke that say like you're not really woke if you never took shrooms. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like once you realize that this isn't real, I think it gives you a certain attitude when you come down. You saying, like I said, once you change, you can't change back. So, what is the biggest information or perspective shift that helped you in the real world, like when you came all the way down?
I would just say, all right. So like I said, I recently stopped smoking, right? Or just like took a break just to like, lower my tolerance and like be more like present and more aware of things. Yeah. So one night I was drinking some wine, and I had like a bottle of wine, like a bottle and a half of wine. And then I was just like, you know what? I want to smoke, but I ain't have nothing to smoke. Yeah. So it was like little scraps of like little like weed leaves, and then I had like some keef at the bottom of my grinder, and I put it in my bowl and I hit it. And you ever play GTA? Yeah, that's my shit. When you play GTA and then you hit the L and then the whole screen change. That's exactly how it felt. like no lie at all, that shit was crazy.
They got the little bong in the house and you hit that.
And then like the wine had like sparked it and everything, so it felt psychedelic. So I went to go look in the mirror. My eyes was big as shit. I'm like, it's really feeling like a psychedelic experience. And then I was just sitting there, and I'm like, so me personally, I feel like I can tap into, Christ consciousness, being a God, whatever you want to call it. So I'm just sitting there, and I'm like, I'm a God. I create my whole entire reality, and like I make this whole shit. Yeah. And then I was like, say I'm not, and I waited like 30 seconds. Like nothing happened. I'm like I can really create my whole entire reality based off my thoughts, based off my emotions, based on the actions that I put in life.
That's dope. How you looking at that? That's exactly how I look at it. Yo, everybody, you are the God or the co-creator of your own life. You know what I'm saying? You are the illustration and the illustrator. You just gotta step back and have that, instead of having that Call of Duty perspective, that first person perspective, have that Grand Theft Auto perspective and see your life from the outside. Right. You just got to take control consciously to exit the matrix. And you said there is some people who see it, but they don't want to do it. Those people, you got to look, that's what I'm saying. The Matrix, the characters are in your life, right? In the movie The Matrix, there's a character named Cypher. And Cypher basically sells him out for some fake ass steak, and he wants to be rich and maintain living in the Matrix because it's easier. Right. It's so much easier to go along with what everybody else is doing. And people who keep the Matrix going are called agents. Those are the agents like in the movie.
Right.
You know, they perpetuate the matrix. Those are the people who tell you, yo, don't keep going to school, keep going to college, get in debt, buy a house, get a 401k. This is the only thing you can do to be successful. If not, your life is gonna be some shit.
Right.
So like, let's talk about like this rebelling and breaking out of the matrix, bro. Can you say something to anybody who wants to break out the matrix, but they kind of scared? They don't know what, you know, if they're the chosen one or not.
I mean, to be honest, everybody's the chosen one. You know, everybody has the potential to create your own reality. It's just about, are you, like, at the end of the day, do you really want to? Like, like I can't. You can lead the deer to the water, but you can't make them drink it. So, like, if you want to change your life, like, if you want to practice, you know, self-care, if you want to really like change who you are as a person, if you want to start a business, if you want to do whatever the case may be, then you have to be willing to do that. If you don't have the will to do that and you just want to conform, then that's like you can be out, you can, like, I forgot who it was, you know, it's a barber on TikTok that goes around and gives free haircuts.
It's Vic Blends.
Yes.
I seen him on TikTok. Yeah.
He was like,
yeah.
he was like, if you out there grinding, you know, trying to get rich, trying to do something without like a true purpose, something's going to be able to stop you. Like if you really don't want to do it, something's going to be able to stop you. And like me personally, I feel like I'm just not that person. Like nothing's going to, like, no matter what, I'm going to be successful regardless.
So is there anything that can stop you?
No, not at all. And plus, like, I'm a Leo.
Okay.
You know, like, I can pull out the ego when I want to. So, like, nothing's going to stop me. Like, I'm going to be able to do whatever I want, whenever I want. I'm going to make it happen regardless. And I've always been like that, you know, but now it's just different. You know, I'm really going to do it. Like, my mom, she had like, when I got my neck tattoo and my hand tattoo,
she
was like, no, don't do that. You know, you're going to ruin your life in the corporate world. I'm like, Mom, I don't want a job. Like, exactly. I'm trying to be self-employed, like, right now. Yeah. Like, this is my motivation. You know, I'm forcing myself out. I don't want to be here anymore.
Yeah.
You know?
You're not conforming to the matrix.
Not at all.
Okay, I like that too, bro, because I feel like it's not often that you run into another person who's on the same frequency as you. We talking about we talking about frequency. Let's talk about like TikTok. So you're saying you blew up off of that song, off of that one TikTok, which is your most popular TikTok right now, because of what you were talking about. And we were kind of spoke on this earlier. It's kind of trendy to be woke right now.
Right.
And it's like, you seen NLE Chopper, like, he started selling sea moss and then he fighting in the park. You know what I'm saying? Then it's like, so it's like, what do you think about it? Is it good that people are like trying to be like tapped in, or is it like worse because people are kind of like fake woke and then kind of giving misinformation now?
So, you know, it has duality to it, because, you know, it's good because, you know, people are trying to do better. People are trying to be more conscious. People are trying to, you know, find out new ways that they can live. But at the same time, there's a lot of people who think that they know something, and then they'll get on like TikTok. Like spiritual TikTok is like such a bad place. I don't even get on my FYP, bro. I don't even get on my FYP, because a lot of people are just like, they'll hear like a lot of people are parrots. They'll hear something and then they'll just talk about it. It's like, yeah, this is it. And then people who just started their spiritual journey, they're coming to these platforms, they're coming to YouTube, they're coming to TikTok to try to learn about the whole new entire world that they've been presented with, and then they're getting misinformed. So me personally, on my account, I don't talk about shit that I don't know about. Okay. So that's why when I was like when I took my leap into spirituality, and then like I just started focusing on myself, and that was like the main thing that I was doing. That's the main thing that I talk about at this point in time, because that's something that I have personal experience with. So I can get,
that's your truth,
right? Yeah. So I can get like information off of Google and tie it in with my personal experience, as opposed to just looking up an article, being like, all right, bet, and then making a video about it and then misinforming people. So I'm not going to talk about a whole bunch of Anunnaki and Draconians and shit if I don't have like a good amount of information on it, because I don't want to mislead anybody, because then I'm gonna look bad. Yeah. And it's not even about just me looking bad, but I'm gonna misinform somebody, and they're gonna, you know, they might tell it to somebody else, or they'll just be misinformed, period. So that's not really a good thing. It's a lot of that on TikTok. So,
yeah, I feel like you gotta definitely have that third eye to really just decipher through the bullshit. But you gotta consume enough information. Now, let's talk about research, bro. Like you seem like me, where you enjoy going down the rabbit hole and just checking out conspiracies and stuff like that. Do you got any like good sources that you can give anybody that's tapping into this visually on video or audio, like podcast, YouTube channel, where you trust their, you know what I'm saying, what they saying?
For real, the only person that I would really like truly recommend is Young Pharaoh.
Okay, we here.
Young Pharaoh is a very knowledgeable and smart man. Like he's the GOAT, and he got his YouTube banned.
Yeah.
So
I've been looking for him. That's what happened. So it's legit.
You have to
go to Young Pharaoh, Pharaoh Academy, Pharaoh University.
Yeah, and I'm gonna tap into that too. I'm gonna tap into that real soon. But like, cause like his information was very good, and like he had like 6 years worth of information from like when he first started, just talking about like regular shit like chakras and auras and shit like that, to the point where he's talking about just like energy in general. But he had a lot of information, and a lot of his information was backed up with a lot of sources.
Receipts. Yeah. He was always bringing them receipts. Shout out to my guy Young Pharaoh.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? True inspiration. I feel like it's dope when we got people like that now that's standing up, because in this time we don't really have too many people doing that. You feel me? It's like it's almost as if they say we got freedom of speech, but as soon as you say what you really want, everybody just gonna come bash you. How do you like navigate through with the haters? You know what I'm saying? How do you address the haters?
So when I first started like my TikTok, I used to like go back and forth with them, because just to like boost my shit, because like if you got haters, you popping. If you got haters, all clout is good clout. It's gonna help you out in some sort of way, fashion, or form. But now it's just like, bro, I can't even like, I don't really do that anymore. Like I don't go back and forth with people just because people gonna hate. Regardless. If regardless of what you're doing, it's like preachers that got hate.
Once you become the hero in your story, you instantly become the villain in someone else's.
Right.
Because there's always gonna be an opposite side.
It's just like, regardless, they giving me energy.
Okay. Yeah. Exactly.
So I can take their energy and transmute it without them even knowing. And I actually like had explained that to somebody at some point in time. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna just transmute this energy. He's like, how are you gonna do that? You can't transmute energy. Yeah. I'm like, okay, bro. It was whatever. I'm just gonna take it. Because when people say something to you, like it makes you feel some type of way. Like even if it's just a little bit, and you can just take that and do something else with it. I can take that and make a video, and then like get a couple views off of it and transmute the energy. So, haters gonna hate. Fuck them.
All right, hey, real quick, bro. Can you tell me what's in the future for Kenny the Hippie?
For me personally, I don't like to look too far into the future, because I don't want to be too worried about it. The only thing that I would say is, I'm gonna be making more content, because I want to be able to be more creative. I mean, not creative. I want to be able to be more full time with my content. Okay. So I started making YouTube videos again. I'm gonna start like soon. I'm gonna start like Twitch streaming, and like I've been on like Twitter and Instagram more, and yeah, just making a whole bunch of new content, making more music as well. I've been taking music a little bit more seriously.
That boy got some fire.
Yeah.
Boy got that XXX, that sad, happy music though.
Yeah.
Okay, real quick, you got anything for anybody that's tapping into this interview?
I would just say, just take care of yourself. You gotta realize that at the end of the day, you gotta be your own best friend. You gotta take care of yourself. You gotta love yourself. You gotta be there for yourself and talk yourself through things. Tell yourself that it's okay. A lot of people think it's weird to like have conversations with yourself. You don't have to necessarily respond, but like I talk to myself all the time. Like it can be out loud, it can be in your head. When you're going through something, tell yourself it's okay. We're gonna get through it. We're strong. But yeah, just take care of yourself. Try to eat right. Work out, get some nature, get some sun.
Get some sun.
Yes, sir. But that's it really, because you know that's what I love to say. You know, just take care of yourself, because at the end of the day, the whole like spirituality thing is about self, oneness with yourself. And when everybody's at a point where they're true to themselves, then we're all gonna be better as a whole.
Focus on yourself.
Facts.
That's a wise words from my guy Kenny the Hippie.
Facts.
Man, I really appreciate you for joining me in Invader Nation today. This was a really dope talk. You know what I'm saying? You dropped a lot of gems.
Yes, sir.
It's your boy Supreme. It's my guy Kenny the Hippie.
You're
And we out.
Peace.